Hey guys, Ace here, and today I'm gonna be talking about Black Ops 4 and why everybody's so angered by what's being announced at Black Ops 4 from E3, and why is it so different from what it was before. Because before, we were kind of pissed that there was no campaign, but now there's just a complete, like, if you go to the Reddit, it's just complete chaos there. Everybody's demanding refunds, like, everybody just does not want any of this Activision BS anymore, and nobody wants this at all. Because, see, exactly what happened is that pretty much Activision is now the only company that is pushing the paid DLC and paid post-launch content model sort of thing. Because after, I guess, Fortnite wasn't like the first one to ever do this, because there was games like Warframe and stuff that have free-to-play and free content updates and everything, but they're one of the bigger companies, like such as Battlefield, to actually go ahead and do free DLC, and that was like the big thing that everybody was talking about, regardless of how many people aren't really satisfied with their like developers and how they're treating the game and how anything. Anyway, they have free DLC and free content for people who buy the base game for $60, and Activision is trying to make you pay the $60 and then pay for the Black Ops Pass, which is pretty much a lot of the content locked behind just a paywall, and that really splits up the community. If you realize, like, even if a lot of people buy the Black Ops Pass because it's cool, it's nice, it's more content, and especially for zombies, it's like kind of a story that you want to get into, it still splits up the community quite a bit, and you're not going to find as many servers or as many games on the DLC maps after like a couple months of those maps being out. So a lot of these companies are changing up their model, making it more appealing for consumers to buy their product, because, you know, everybody can access the same amount of stuff for paying the same amount of price. Like, it's great, it's awesome, and it's nice. And then Activision here thinks that they're above everybody else, and they're just going to charge whatever amount they want for this DLC. And I'm pretty sure there was something about there being less content in this Black Ops Pass, and since there's a lot of other stuff for Blackout that's gonna come out in that pass, that's why they changed the name from the Season Pass to Black Ops Pass, which is just okay. That's awesome, that's cool. But realistically, I feel like a good fix to this, like, obviously I'm not in that business, so they're gonna make their decisions based on how much money they want. But I feel like multiplayer maps, like, as cool as they are and how different they are, they don't take as much effort as zombies maps do. Like, I'm not saying that multiplayer maps aren't as fun or anything, but they just don't take as much effort as the amount of Easter eggs and the amount of story and dialogue and everything you need for a zombies map. And so I feel like if they charged people just for the zombies pass, that would make a heck of a lot more sense. Because I mean, obviously I don't want to pay for anything, because as an average consumer, you don't have the money to just, you know, throw $50 here, $60 for the game, and then the the Black Ops Pass. It's just not, like, you know, normal. It's pretty anti-consumer, and it's just not how we want it. But the fact that, like, they expect us to pay this much for it is just, I don't know. Like, when we see all these other games that are doing it so well and doing something that we really want, it's kind of a joke at this point that, like, if someone announces that their game isn't going to have loot boxes, we all cheer. If you guys remember, when Black Ops 4 was revealed, they had the big, like, little section where they said, will there be loot boxes? No. And everybody was just super happy. And that's awesome. No loot boxes. Like, I mean, it shouldn't have been a thing in the first place. That's just ridiculous. But the like, I feel like with the DLC, you're trying to complete the game that you put out. It's not really adding on to the game. I think it's making more of the complete game, because you can't have a zombie story without it just, like, with just one map, or actually there's 4 maps in this, but it's still not going to complete the entire story that they're putting out. Like, you're obviously going to want more, and you want to finish that story, and this story has been going on, like, the original 4 story has been going on for 3-4 games now, and so you're incentivized to buy it so that you can complete the story, and that's, like, already, you know, a lot of money that you're spending, and then you're expected to pay for all this DLC and everything. And when you see this other company, like Battlefield, just something that everybody could compare it to because it's the biggest thing next to Call of Duty usually. It's just hard to imagine that Activision would be so bold and just so brave to charge that much money for the DLC and everything. And it's not actually that much for, like, their content, like, their maps are much smaller, so it's obviously not as much effort as Battlefield puts into their maps. And they've had 4 maps per DLC or more so it's pretty much the same thing, but they're doing it for free. And I'm guessing there's going to be a lot of customization in their Battlefield game because, you know, we've all seen the blue face paint, all the ridiculous customization items, which nobody's really a fan of, but it's still there and people can buy it, and I'm sure that it'll do well in the selling aspect of things. But with Activision, it's just, that's the problem here, is that they are using this old and outdated business model where people are pretty much forced to buy DLC if they want to play the new maps. And people who do buy the DLC, even, like, they don't get the full experience because they don't get to play those maps for as long, because there's some people who just cannot afford that kind of thing. They can't afford this Black Ops pass that they're really trying to incentivize. And, like, it should always be about connecting all these players and just being able to play with everyone else, and it's not happening. Something like PlayStation and Xbox, like the crossplay, like that whole ordeal thing, like, it just splits up the player base, and it's just so, like, nobody wants that. And it should be that everybody can play with each other regardless of how much DLC and, like, how much they paid for. Like, obviously, like, it's just, I don't know, it just seems like now it's more of a cash grab. How many people can you, like, kind of trick into buying as much DLC just so you can put in the minimal effort and then charge it a bunch more just for that money? Like, first comes the money, and then comes all the DLC content. I don't know, it just seems like that, and hopefully they fix this soon, because I don't know if Activision's the type of person, or, like, the type of company to completely revamp their model for the sake of the community, because the entire, like, if you've seen the subreddit, it's just crazy out there. Don't even go there. It's like, I mean, obviously we want change, but I don't know. If you, like, make your voices be heard, like, that would be great, but it's ridiculous. But yeah, guys, hopefully you guys did enjoy. Hopefully it did kind of shed some light on what's going on. It could be confusing with all the stuff that's going on with E3 and everything, about why everybody's suddenly so eager to, like, not buy Black Ops 4. There's even some posts about how to refund your Battle.net Black Ops 4 purchase, and it's crazy. It's just, I don't want this to happen. Like, we all were like, Treyarch's gonna be the one to save us, and then now it's just, is it really anything different from all the other years we've played Call of Duty? I don't know. I mean, I'm not really into multiplayer as much as I am zombies. I'll probably be grinding out multiplayer, but I mean, it's just, I don't want to spend more money. I don't want to spend more money than anybody else would for the game, and it would be nice to get free DLC, and I'm just like any other consumer who would want to get, like, what they're promised, and I don't know. It just seems like a dumb idea to charge for so much DLC. But anyway, that'll be it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did enjoy, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.
You're about to see a comeback.